Your very first fight was, if not mistaken, against the Cannon, Shannon Ritch.
Yep.
That was what a debut to make. One of the most decorated and in-depth bare knuckle fighters that there is on earth today is Shannon Ritch. He's had over 25 fights in bare knuckle, and you make your debut against him, and not only a formidable debut, but you actually stopped the Cannon in the process as well.
Yeah, it was it was a good fight. It was a really good fight to have for my debut. I've got a lot of respect for Shannon.
Me too.
We're still friendly now. We still talk now. And to be fair, he taught me a lot in that fight. Even though I won, he still taught me a lot. I made a lot of mistakes in that fight, which I haven't made in any of my fights after that. So it was a really good learning curve for me, and it was a really good fight to have for my debut. And yeah, I mean, it's set. It was a good example to set where my career is going to go. Do you know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
I mean, I took on a lot of adversity in that fight, and I showed that I had heart. I showed that I had a chin, and I showed a lot as well. So yeah, it was all around. It was a good debut to have.
Yeah, definitely. It was, and that's where I first heard of you, watching the BKB platform and seeing that fight. I was a big fan of Shannon Ritch's for his mixed martial arts, and all the way back to No Holds Barred when it was bare knuckle combat way back then. And seeing you make that debut, that's where I sparked the interest in approaching you to basically just say, hey, how's it going? And let you know that I was a fan of yours now because of that fight with Shannon Ritch. And man, it's been a few years, and I love what you're going through in your life, and I love being able to be a part of it as a fan as well as a friend now.
Yeah, it's that fight sparked a lot. Like I said, I got quite a big fan base just from that fight alone, and it's just kept growing. It's just kept growing from that fight, and I personally believe it was because of Shannon's background and how popular he was in the MMA world that sparked a lot of interest in that fight, and it's just done me the world of good, really.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. We've just recently seen that Shannon Ritch has signed with Rock Solid Combat Sports Management with Psycho Joe Mack. Joe and Shannon, they've had a long-standing relationship, and they had a little bit of a period of time where they weren't in as great a communications as what they are again now. And with him signing, maybe Shannon Ritch is going to step back inside and throw bare knuckles again. What would you think of that? Would you like to see him fight again?
I mean, all the time he's capable. I mean, why not? He shows that he's more than capable. He's always in the gym. He's always training. He's always like you said, that the man always says he'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, and he does. Yeah, I mean, if he feels that he can do it and he's not got any injuries or anything like that, then why not? I mean, if he was constantly getting injuries or if he was constantly getting destroyed in these fights, then I wouldn't want to see it, because I wouldn't want to see him get hurt. And I don't mean that with any disrespect at all, but the man's still game and he's still active, and so if he's still got more in the tank, then why not?
I agree, and he is the reigning BKFC international heavyweight bare knuckle champion. It was a super fight that he had with Omar Rocky Molina, that he won that belt at BKFC 4, USA versus Mexico. And I think it would be really cool to see him defend that belt.
Yeah. Like I said, he's the thing is with Shannon, he can be a fan favorite because he comes to fight whether he wins or he loses, but he will come and put on a fight. And sometimes fans just want to see that. Fans just want to see a fight. They don't care if you win or lose, as long as you've had a fight. That's what they care about. And Shannon brings that all the time. So
yeah, absolutely he does. With the potential of him defending that belt and it being an international belt, and you two already fighting before, you now going to be fighting with BKFC UK. If Shannon Ritch gets contract by BKFC, the main company over in the United States, that rematch isn't that far out of the realm. Even though you guys are both admirable to one another, you're respectful to each other, you've grown a friendship since the fight, there is the potential of that happening. I know I'm washing that out. I'm beating a dead horse because I bring it up quite often with the two of you. And I know that the respect that's there. But being a guy that I am, I love watching two of my friends fight one another when it's a sanctioned fight and it's, you know, for a paycheck. I love watching that kind of stuff, and I would love to see you guys throw down one more time.
I mean, me and Shannon we're both humble in victory and both humble in defeat. And
yes,
we're both warriors. We understand the game. We understand that if he was to come back and the potential to fight each other's there, we're both in the same game. We understand the fact that we might have to fight each other, but we respectfully do so, and we will put our respect on the line for however long for the 5 rounds, and then it'll go back to being respectful again. It's what we do. It's the sport that we're in. It's a gentleman's sport. So I know I don't think Shannon would have any qualms with having a rematch with me, as if I wouldn't. So we'll see what happens. It could be on the cards.
Yeah, you just never know, right? You just never know.